Bartoloni, and I'm the coordinator for the Moon Village Association in Italy. It's my pleasure to start now the first Italian Moon Village Association Space Summer School that has been organized by the Italian MVA members to celebrate the International Moon Day 2023, to celebrate the Apollo 11 landing that happened in the 20th of July 1969. My history in the association is becoming this year. At the beginning of this year, I was take the role of the coordinator for Italy after a very great experience done in the symposia that the Moon Village Association organizes each year. And after that, it was in Los Angeles last November, I decided to join this association. And after a first event that we organized in Bologna, in the Marco Peroni studio, that is another member, in which we have the possibility to describe to the people, it was an in-person event, to describe the association activities, but also our research in space that I did in the INFN, inside the MS collaboration, the Alpha Magnetic Spectrometer collaboration, and Marco did inside his activity on designing active shielding or make study of active shielding for protect from space radiation in the future during space exploration. And after, always it was another very important thing is the creation of the Moon Village Association Italia page on LinkedIn, in which you can find all the information about our activities. It was started a few weeks ago, so up to now we have roughly 200 followers. And here there is the scan code for if you want to join or just to visit the page. And then this school, what was the idea? The idea was that the International Moon Day is an annual event held for the general public, celebrated across the planet. And it is an excellent opportunity to educate the public and promote and raise each year at the international level the awareness of the status and prospect for humanity, the sustainable moon exploration and utilization of the moon, and the need to act together to regulate activities on and around the moon. With the approval of the United Nations, this event fosters increased global cooperation between stakeholders worldwide and promotes increased participation in this goal of the future generation. In this context, the school will pursue the purpose that is this year is focused on the beginning, the new lunar journey for humanity, and also will promote the expertise and research interest of the Italian associate. This was the idea, to promote what the members, the Italian members, roughly 10 persons, done in the past in the space activity. And of course, the idea is to create a network with students and stakeholders. The topic addressed will be specific to the lunar space exploration, future activities, but will reflect the characteristic of the association. That is to consider the subject from the viewpoint of more than one discipline: sciences, engineering, economy, health, arts, and literature. And let me say that this was the program, the agenda is in that sense reflect this kind of attitude of the association. Moreover, even if the event started as an Italian one, in organizing, we discovered a lot of people interested to participate. So that at the moment, you see that there is a participation, if you consider the affiliation of the nationality of the speakers from Italy, France, US, Poland, the United Nations, because we have also the people that represent the Space Generation Advisory Council, that is a United Nations organization, from the Emirates, Abu Dhabi and Dubai, from Belgium, UK, and Germany. So it's now a real international school. So about the program, today we will have a very intense program. We will start on the morning take in account and addressing one of the most important things that every one of us have to take care when is, in a sense, in exploration, to build a home. And this was about living on the moon that will be taken care by Paolo Caratelli and Ilaria Fiori to give us some information on that, some introduction to this kind of stuff. Then we will move on to another, let me say, possible home that it will be on the way to the exploration of the other planets or satellite. This is so-called cislunar area. And especially Paolo Mangili will give us some insight about the Lagrange points that are very special points in the heliosphere. And Gennaro Russo will give us also some other insights on this kind of cislunar regions. Then there is a corner of an area that is under the control of the Student Association. We are pleasure and honored to host SETS Italy, Polyspace, Special Generation Advisory Council, and some representatives, Lene Carnelli, Alessia Gloder, and Isha Tezin. And we will finish the morning session with a talk by Emma Gatti that will give us a more general lecture about how to communicate effectively science, and in this today more specific to the space science. So in the afternoon, we will move on instead something that is more about nature and human aspect of the exploration. In fact, we will start with Malak Trabelsi-Loeb that will give us some hints about how to do exploration that will be respectful of the resources, what is about sustainable moon exploration. Then Jane Davis from the University College of London that will instead will give us some hints about the human part, the human aspect of this new society that will arise with the exploration of space. And finally, there will be some points from a very important actor on this kind of game that are the industry, because of course the industry is the gear for the exploration of space. And Laura Todd from Airbus will share with us the vision, her vision about this potentiality of the moon exploration. Then we will move on to the more natural aspect. In fact, we will discuss with Marco Peroni, Pref Schobert, and myself about two aspects that are very critical in space exploration, especially for the moon. One is the radiation, and another one is the landing, because landing on the moon is up to now one of the more critical aspects about the possibility to explore the moon. We then finish the day with a special inspiring talk, as a stepping stone to a multiplanetary humanity, given by Vittorio Netti, because of course this is something that will happen, will characterize the future. So now I will share with you the welcome by the chair of the space of the International Moon Day, Nar Al-Safa, with a video.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Nasr Al-Sahaf, chair of the International Moon Day group. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the second celebration of the International Moon Day. In 2021, the Moon Vision Association recommended to United Nations Office on Outer Space Affairs the establishment of a day to commemorate humanity's first landing on the moon in 1969 with the Apollo 11 mission. The International Moon Day was declared by the United Nations General Assembly on 9 December 2021 to be commemorated by all member nations on July 20th of every year starting in 2022. Last year, we celebrated the inaugural session of the IMD at Drake State Community and Technical College in Huntsville, Alabama, where it all began more than half a century ago, and the home of the Saturn V rocket, which made it all happen. Every year we have a new theme. Last year's theme was lunar exploration, coordination, and sustainability. And this year's theme is beginning the new lunar journey for mankind. The IMD is a special opportunity to raise awareness and educate the public about the status and prospects for humanity and sustainable exploration and utilization of the moon. IMD events aim to foster increased global awareness, cooperation, and coordination among stakeholders worldwide, and to promote increased participation towards this goal for future generations. This year, we have increased the number of participating countries from 23 in 2022 to 35 countries this year in 46 global events so far, such as yours here today. Our main event, IMD 2023, is held this year at the Science Museum in Gwacheon, South Korea. In addition to keynote speakers from the space industry, private and public sectors, we will be featuring an expert panel discussion on a variety of topics and current controversial space issues, which should make for a very interesting discussion. And you're all welcome to download it from our official website on July 20th. In conclusion, I wish you all a very successful IMD global event wherever you may be on the second celebration of IMD 2023. Thank you and God bless.
So after this message is now the turn of the Giuseppe Reibaldi, that is the president. He will be in person here, connected by on Zoom. So please, Giuseppe, you have the floor.
Okay, so first of all, good morning to everyone. And of course, welcome to this summer school. I would like to thank you, of course, first of all, Alessandro and all his people, which have made possible this event. I think you are breaking basically new grounds with this summer school that we, within the MVA and the IMD community, we consider really as a breaking new grounds event, because it's the first time that within the frame of the IMD, we are having a summer school. And of course, because of the large variety of speakers and the language, most of the local global events are held in the language of the country, which is not the case here. So a double basically congratulations for this. So what I would like to do now, before getting started with your different lessons, speakers, is to remind you or to inform you about what is the Moon Village Association and why was it created. So the Moon Village Association, which is basically is the father or the mother, you want to call it, of the International Moon Day and many of the activities that we are having all over the world in the last 6 to 7 years, has been created in 2017. And I have the honor to be one of the two basically originator of this idea. So the goal of the organization, which is registered in Vienna, is to bring together stakeholders from space agency, government, industry, research organization, academia, international organization, and last but not least, the public, and of course, the young generation. You know that the moon has so many interests all over the world, and there is a variety of programs, and there has never been before a platform where all those can be discussed in order to increase cooperation. So that's why we created this organization, which by now we have about around 600 to 800 people working with us on a voluntary basis and representing basically 60 countries, which is, of course, by itself an important result. As a result of that, we have also initiating many activities. So the global network, where Alessandro is really a shining example of efficiency, I have to say, since indeed I contacted him to invite to become basically Italian coordinator. He has made an outstanding job. And I wish that we will have the same in many other areas. And we will discuss at the end of these 2 days the way forward. So the organization is taking care, of course, to be present on the different countries in order to be able to speak the language. This case today is the English language, but many other occasions the organization also speaks the Italian language because it's an Italian network. But beside this event, of course, we have many other activities. I like to mention just a few of them because the rest you can watch them on the MVA website. So we have basically developed an activity related to the lunar commerce and economics. And this has been in a way of report, which has been published at the beginning of this year, which explain all the lunar economic potential with the market segment. If I remember correctly, tomorrow you will have a segment related to lunar economics, and we will have also people from SDA Bocconi, which have been involved in the second part. So you will hear more tomorrow. On the policy and governance, MVA is extremely active because we have the opportunity to be members, observer of the United Nations, and we bring to the United Nations all the concern which the lunar community has. And so I think this is an important activity. And so we present to the United Nations a lot of our activity as related to the policy and governance. We developed a global expert group on sustainable lunar activity, which is a group of people from all over the world, which have defined in a report a framework for future, let's say, sustainable lunar activity. It's important to understand that with all future lunar mission going to the moon, around the moon, there is not yet an agreed modus operandi. And so it is very important that COPUS will come to find a platform where all of this can be discussed. And of course, MVA is playing an important role there. On the architecture, there is this is another important aspect. The vice president of the MVA, John Mankins, is chairing architecture working group. What you see behind me is one of the vision of the, let's say, OASIS 2045, which is a settlement of a multi-country, which might include China, as well as United States, which is hopefully what is going to happen in a peaceful way to the lunar South Pole. And then we have another important activity related to the young generation, towards the moon village generation. We have a student corner, and today participation in summer school is a testimony of the importance of the future generation. So I like to conclude with two remarks. First, that indeed the International Moon Day, it is a project, one of the projects of the MVA, and that's why I think basically all the activity which have been around the world, that since the radio recorder has been moving forward with, now we have 50 events from 42 countries during this week and last week. I like to conclude by reminding many of you, which were not born, good or bad for you, 54 years ago, the 24th of July is the day when Apollo 11 came back home safe. So therefore, it is also, Alessandro picked up, also an important day to start this two-day event, is the return safe way of the astronaut, which the first time touched base on the moon surface. So with that, Alessandro, I'd like, again, thank you so much to you, all the people and all the speakers. And I'd like to wish you, all of you, a very fruitful summer school of International Moon Day. Thank you, Alessandro. Floor is yours back.
Thank you very much, Giuseppe. Okay, so now